Hi guys, Elias here. I wanted to do a little vlog to address a specific topic. This topic is discipline, a topic that we artists are not normally associated with, but it's a very important topic and I want to speak on it for a moment. And to begin my address, I will start with a short poem by Charles Bukowski. Now, I'm not even sure of this poem, the title, I believe it's called Don't Do It. And I won't recite the whole thing. I'll recite just the first two stanzas. Begins like this. If it doesn't come bursting out of you in spite of everything, don't do it. Unless it comes bursting out of your heart, your mind, and soul, don't do it. Now, this topic, this particular phrase, this particular sentiment, although I think he probably meant it in terms of going with your passion, the day-to-day, this is a very destructive topic for us artists, for any creative, whether it be a musician, I would think even athlete, because if I waited until art was bursting out of me, I wouldn't draw a lick. I wouldn't draw a sketch. Oftentimes, I don't even want to draw, but this work is not going to make itself. You know, I'm like anybody else. I'd rather surf the internet. I'd rather check Facebook and Twitter. I'd rather read a financial blog or maybe, watch a YouTube video on history. That's just me. But when you have a passion to do something, you've got to do what Oren Klaff calls carry the water and chop the wood. And I believe that's a Bruce Lee analogy as well. I'm jumping around a lot from a lot of different disciplines because ostensibly you would think art has nothing to do with, boxing or music. Well, it has a little to do with music. But the disciplines are so different from the static arts and the performing arts. Certainly you would think it has nothing to do with sports. But the most important thing is to just do it. It's the antithesis of the Bukowski poem, which is actually do it, just do it. I sit down and most of the time I am not inspired at all. Nothing really comes at first. But through the continual work, through the process of working, once you sit down, amazing things start happening. You start pulling things out of yourself that you never even knew you had. And it's a really wonderful, amazing process. Now, I also want to bring up two artists from different disciplines whose work I respect and enjoy, and their process, which is almost the antithesis of Don't Do It. Carlos Santana and David Lynch. Now, they are both proponents of going deep, diving deep. They oftentimes will go very deep. I mean, certainly, Carlos Santana says you don't even come up with your own stuff till you've been playing for 4 hours. He says, I need to play at least 4 hours just to get everybody else's stuff out of my system. The songs he's heard, maybe the jazz standards he's been practicing, the rock standards, blues standards. All this stuff is in your consciousness at the top level, and you got to get through to it, through the deeper levels. Similarly, David Lynch has something which he calls deep fishing. He says you've got to swim out there to the really deep parts of the ocean, and, did I say swim? You've got to row out there to the really deep parts of the ocean, and you've got to fish there, because that's where the big fish are. And he likens that to catching ideas. That's essentially what catching ideas is. Diving deep to catch the really big ideas. So this is just something that can only be done through repetition, through the daily sitting down and being disciplined enough to draw, paint, sculpt, create. I'm speaking strictly 2D arts now. It's something that you've got to do over and over again every day, and over time it yields results that Oftentimes, I even surprise myself because I don't sit down inspired. But through the work, through the process, inspired work comes out. I wanted to share that with you guys today. Whatever you're interested in, just do it. Just go do it. Sit down, even if it's 5-10 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day is ideal, but whatever you can do, begin to do it, make it consistent, and over time you get a lot of nice stuff happening. So thank you very much for watching this little vlog. I'm Eli and I'm out. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.